Spencer, from an overall standpoint, just emotionally coming off of last night, how tough of a challenge was a night like tonight, but then ultimately to get the job done, what did it take?
Yeah, no, to your point, back-to-backs are always difficult. One of the things I'm realizing is obviously being a Laker, like everybody's going to give you their best shot. I know that from the opposing side, but obviously now too. So, we just have to be prepared every night, be focused. I think, it came in waves tonight, but we did enough to get the win.
Have you seen enough these last two games when you guys have been at your best defensively to think that there's more there on a consistent basis? I mean, like what you guys were able to do in the fourth quarter against the Clippers, stretches tonight, pretty high-level defense, but then also big, long stretches where the other team shot 55, 57% against you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes back to what I kind of said when I first got here, just observing from afar. When we're on and we're playing at our peak, you can argue we're the best team in the league. But we have too many stretches where, like you said, they shoot 57% or something of that nature, and we kind of drop the ball. So it's just on us to be more consistent, more focused. Obviously, I'm not necessarily the best analyst of everything that's going on. I've only been here for a couple of weeks, but, it's pretty evident that we have the talent level to beat anybody any night.
Spencer, the first day we talked to you after you joined the team, numbers were not anything in the messaging that you were sharing with us about what you hope to do.
Yeah.
But just the fact that you put up some positive numbers in this back-to-back in the context of winning, does that kind of fast-track the comfort factor?
All of it. I mean, I think even in the games that I played poorly from I would say points perspective or the sexy stats, I was still really good, plus minus. And so it's just getting a handle on the game, what is required of me, and then obviously knocking down shots. Everybody needs to, step up when their number's called. And, for the last couple of games, been pretty decent. And, I think Utah was good. So it's just build on that going forward. And then as more opportunity comes, you're going to see more and more typical Spencer numbers probably.
AD, just in terms of coming off last night, obviously understanding where this one fell, what's coming up on Saturday, mentally, physically, emotionally, what does one like this take?
It took all the energy, mentally, physically, emotionally to get this win. They're a young team, obviously they're not playing for anything, but they still play fast. I think they lead the league in pace. They shot the ball extremely well tonight, play hard, and, turned us over a couple times with some second chance points. So took us all the way to overtime. So the recovery process starts now. Use tomorrow as a recovery day, and get ready for an early game on Saturday.
What do you take away from this month as a team, 9-3, and where you guys are right now?
Obviously, we're trying to climb. It's going to take a lot more winning than losing to, get where to we want to be. We're in a race right there. I'm not sure, what happened tonight around the league, but we're continuously just trying to get better, work on ourselves, and get healthy. Get some of our guys back, and while doing that, staying in the fight, staying in the hunt. So. It's a good month for us, and we got a tough month of March coming up, but we're at home, so we got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, you guys haven't beaten the Nuggets in a while. Does that mean anything? Would beating them signify clearing some sort of hurdle for this group?
I think just to start the month off right. Obviously they've had our number for a while, but I don't think we look at it as we had to beat them for our own personal morale or something like that. We just want to get a win, and kind of keep this thing going, knowing the position that we're in, trying to climb up the ladder. So, we haven't talked about it, but I think just overall just getting a win to keep this going will be helpful for us. And then in the midst of that, beating them, definitely feel good.
You guys showed defensively in the fourth quarter against the Clippers, third quarter overtime tonight, that you guys have that part to, at times. What do you think it'll take for you guys to be a little more consistent on that side of the basketball right now? Is that something that you feel like this group's looking for?
We have a lot of mental mistakes. Miscommunication, guy say one thing, the other guy doesn't honor it, or or we play good defense for the first 24 seconds, then the offensive rebound happens, and then they make a shot. Or we turn the ball over and can't get back in transition. Live ball turnover. So I think communication will help with a lot of it. And not having a lot of brain farts and mental breakdowns on the defensive end. Just stay solid, do your job, do what you're supposed to do, and trust the guy behind you. Not making up things on the fly or doing, maybe what you think is right, because now no one's on the same page or know what you're doing. So, and then it's tough. You don't have any practice time to kind of go over some things. Obviously back to back. So you're off tomorrow, and then come in, you can't even walk through one of the best teams in the league. To kind of really go over and nitpick the little things on what they do. So you got to have a little 30, 40-minute walkthrough before a game to cover one of the best things. So it's kind of tough, it's scheduling, but it is what it is.
Thanks, Eddie.
Bron, they're not always going to be pretty, but a win is a win. What do you like about the execution in overtime to get the job done?
I think we had to get stops, and we had to execute, make some shots, obviously, not turn the ball over. This is it's a tough, obviously tough league, and after last night's victory, and then come in versus a young, scrappy team that's, pretty much, not playing for much, just out there just playing hard, and a lot of speed, a lot of youth, and obviously it took us 53 minutes to get the job done. So, but give them credit though, they play well.
Kind of big picture. You guys finished the month 9-3. Where'd you guys get better this month?
A lot of places. I think our three-point shooting is starting to get better. Our assist to turnover ratio has gotten a lot better, and we've done a great job of helping on the glass as well. It's still something that we can try to just get better at, but we did a good job of trying to clean glass, not foul as much, put guys on the free throw line. So it's a good month for us, but it's over with now. We got to get started with the next one on Saturday.
A lot of the talk has been about what you guys have to do, looking inward to get better as a group, regardless of the opponent. But it is the Nuggets on Saturday. Obviously, the postseason history with them last year, and then opening night, and then earlier in February. Just how equipped do you think you guys are for this moment, that challenge against the defending champs?
Listen, we just want to get better every year. It doesn't matter who our opponent is. We're trying to, get, place ourselves to be in, playoff contention. So it doesn't matter if it's the Nuggets or the Clippers or the Wizards or whoever the case we play. We have to just try to play our game and defend at a high level, continue to share the ball offensively, try to shoot it at a high clip, get to the free throw line. So it's not a personal matchup versus them. They know what they want to do. They are already solidified in what they want to do each and every night, and we're still trying to get better and work through our things and get we're still trying to get healthy and things of that nature. So we just want to get better.
LeBron, you've had chase down blocks before. This probably won't be the last, but at what point do you know that is when you can get, like, how quickly do you pick that up? That is like, this is when I can track down.
Well, I was taught at a young age, when you turn the ball over, you need to sprint back, and me and AD had a miscommunication on that read, and I threw the pocket pass before he opened up to see the ball, and once I saw, Tyus Jones kind of throw it, I just try to see if I can get back and try to make a play. Obviously, it was a big play in the game. Happy I was able to chase it down.
Do you talk about your strides to decide left or right hand at the end?
Yes, according to wherever the player is, whatever side.
Michael.
Bron, after 21 years in the game, how valuable is practice to you? How do you stay engaged?
For practice?
Practice.
It's very important. It's, we don't have much practice time because of the schedule. The schedule is flying so much. It's a game here, a game there, whatever the case may be, every other day, 3 and 4 nights, whatever the case may be. But like the other day, we had an opportunity to really get on the floor and just fine-tune some things that we wanted to work on offensively and defensively. So, it's good to be able to get in there without the fans. You can kind of tune in and understand what some of the calls we want to make offensively, some of the calls we want to make defensively, and be able to just smooth things out before we get back on the floor in front of 20,000 people. So, the practice court is always key.
Does 40,000 mean anything to you?
I mean, I can't sit here and say no, because I mean, of course. I mean, no one has ever done it, for me to be in this position at this point in time in my career, I think it's pretty cool. Does it sit like at one of the top of my things I've done in my career? No, but does it mean something? Of course, absolutely. Why wouldn't it? To be able to accomplish things in this league, the greatest players to ever play in this league, the NBA, and this has been a dream of mine, and to hit feats and have milestones throughout my career, they all mean something to me. Absolutely. Obviously, there's a pecking order of which ones is higher than others, but yeah, absolutely. I would be lying to you if I said no, it doesn't mean anything, because it absolutely does.
Now that you have the scoring record, have you thought about wanting to add to that lead?
No. I think I never thought about getting the scoring record. It just happened organically. I just played the game the right way, and go out and play the game and let the game come to me. And the scoring record happened organically for me. It was never a goal of mine when I came into the league. Like, I want to be the all-time leading scorer. But I'm still playing, and I can still score the ball, so it's going to continue to go up until I'm done playing.
Last question.
Okay, for you, what does it say about you as a group that you play a back-to-back game and then you go into overtime and you stay together like so close? What does it say?
I think it's resilience. I mean, we're a team that want to continue to get better. And obviously, it doesn't matter the record of a team that you're playing, whatever the case may be. In this league, it's hard as heck to win. It's hard as heck to win in this league. And, we've had our fair share of losses this year. And we're trying to just rewrite that ship, get better. And no matter the circumstances, we just try to find a way to win. You don't always become, obviously, it's a win or loss, league. You don't always be victorious, but you just try to strive to see what you can do offensively, see what you can do defensively, lock in. If it takes 53 minutes instead of 48, you just lock in on the next possession. And it's a pretty good win, especially after last night. We exerted so much energy last night, and then coming in versus a young team that has all the energy in the world, to be able to just still be able to will that one in. I think that was a very impressive win.
Thanks, Andrew.
Down 2 in the final minute and then 3 in OT. Wasn't pretty, but do you feel like you guys are just needing results at this point, or are you more interested in the process of getting the how you're playing?
I don't even know what you asked. Sorry.
So, what's more important, just getting the wins, or kind of the way that you play, which just getting the wins, or kind of the way that you play, which was inconsistent as a team these last 2 nights?
Getting the wins? Yeah. I don't know that last part. What you said?
Well, just the play, right, was inconsistent these last 2 games, right? Just in terms of the Clippers going up 21, the Wizards hanging in the game. So just it's that process versus results.
I think it's hard to win, obviously. I think we're more excited about getting that win in ugly fashion than losing that in any type of fashion. So got it, grinded it. Obviously, guys, a little fatigued, including myself, in the back-to-back, things like that. But it's huge for us to get this one.
Coach Ham was saying that the goal would be to get the defense you guys showed in the fourth quarter last night and overtime tonight more consistent throughout the game with those key stops. What do you think needs to happen to see that consistency?
I mean, it's a long season, so I mean, guys are wearing down, figuring it out, getting back up, finding that energy, within, things like that. So I think that's what you're seeing, guys just kind of up and down, need to get this rest, enjoy this off day, and recoup. But I like where we're at. Could be better.
When LeBron has a night like last night, he had the chase down block tonight and had the pull up 3, just as a teammate, like, is it, I'm honest, maybe not surprising, but it's just like marveling, or just there a moment you marvel, like, he's still doing this in year 21 at the age he's at, with the miles he's at?
I mean, I forget that, the way he plays and his energy. And I mean, if you try to compare how high he jumps when he first got into the league till now, I mean, obviously it's a let off or a little drop off, but he's still jumping over dudes and doing all this athletic stuff. So for me, I'm not surprised. I think he's still capable, still got it. He's still got some years, under his belt. It's just, seeing year 21, might be seeing year 25, you look up. So I'm not surprised. I like that bag. little jean bag. You got some swag. I like that.
Austin was just talking about, your work ethic. I mean, over this whole course, he said since he's known you, he's talked about your work ethic. Talk about that. I mean, I think the numbers speak for itself. You're not a numbers guy, but you're shooting 43 from three, shooting 48 over the last 8 games.
Damn.
With 20. Just talk about that, like the work ethic and still staying that hunger. And, Laker fans, it's tough, but you've always been in the gym and the lab, always kind of been that player since you've been here. So just talk about that.
I mean, I got to watch for all the Laker fans, man. This legacy watch right here. It's for all my Laker fans out there that support me. But like you said, I don't keep up with the numbers. I just hoop, and that's just what you see as a product of me just kind of hooping and trusting my craft. I mean, shout out to AR. That's all I really got is that work and that ethic. Because guys like me aren't, in this league for no reason. Like, you don't see a lot of me's in this league as far as unathletic, find a way to. No, y'all laughing, but like, find a way to be valuable and be relevant to a team in the style that I do it. I'm probably the slowest guy in the NBA, but I still try to be in the right places and study the film and work my way into the right positions and the right places to help the team. So.
D'Lo, sorry for a second LeBron question, but he's now 9 points away from this magical figure of 40,000 points. Yeah. I'm assuming when you were a kid, you watched him growing up. Tell me what goes through your mind when you realize this guy's about to do something, well, he often does something no one's ever done, but about to reach this 40,000 level.
I mean, he the first person I saw play in the NBA, to be honest. We want to talk about it. My dad took me to my first NBA game. It was against the Pacers from Kentucky, so that was our pro team. And they played the Cavs, and I was a big LeBron fan, and, he did that signature dunk, and I remember crying. Being at the game as a fan and watching him do that dunk that he always did on the commercials and all that, and seeing him do it, I remember crying vividly, and that was when I was like, this is where I want to be. So he's inspired me without even knowing it. He's continuing to inspire the youth, his teammates, but the youth as a whole, everybody, kind of looks up to a guy like him, the way he paves the way for us on the and off the floor. Just true role model. So I'm not surprised by anything he's doing. I won't be surprised by anything he's continuing to do. And the sky's really the limit for him and what he's done for this game.
D'Lo, you mentioned that you're happy with where the team is, but that there's some things that you think that you guys need to improve on. With a team like Denver coming up, what do you think are some of those key things that you can hone in on for this upcoming game?
I mean, that's a team to beat. I give them a lot of credit. So for us to compete and be able to beat a team like that, I think we got to do all the little things. We got to be locked in for 48 minutes. I think Jackson Hayes is a guy to be key in that game. As far as giving AD some room to roam and not have to just be the main matchup on Jokic and things like that. Obviously, they've had success over the years with that. So I think we just continue to practice and work on preparing for when we have to play a Denver a caliber team that plays big and very systematic team that is kind of flawless on their offense. They have all the pieces in the right place and coaching and things like that. So I think just locked in for 48 minutes will give us a great chance. Yep.
Hi, Darvin. So we kind of just saw what we're talking about the pregame press conference, how hard it is, the Wizards come in, they don't really, they don't have any pressure to win that game. And then finally see it's really hard to get into it and find the rhythm. So what are your thoughts on that game, how it turned out now?
Man, they came out all guns blazing. Again, regardless of the opponent, we want to try to make sure we're playing the game the right way on both sides of the ball. Kudos to Brian Keefe and the rest of the staff over there. They have those young kids playing extremely hard, regardless of their record. They're going out, playing the right way, moving the ball, hustling. One of the fastest young teams in the league. And they put pressure on you. It's a tough team to play coming off a back-to-back, a really high emotional game from last night. But we found a way. We found a way to win and just kept chipping away at it. Some unfortunate plays. Some plays didn't go our way. But, as good teams do. You have to find ways. It's not going to be pretty every night. It's extremely difficult to win in this league night in and night out. But our guys pulled together when we needed to and made the plays when we needed to.
Darvin, you did hold them to 5 points in the OT. Obviously, you held the Clippers with I think 16 points in the fourth quarter. What do you have to do to get that kind of more consistently throughout the course of a game from this back-to-back as you move into Saturday's game?
I mean, it's just a matter of, energy, effort, awareness, being alert, being proactive and not reactive defensively. Again, doing your work early. And everybody doing that consistently. And we'll go back and look at some of this and try to learn from it, grow from it. It's again, like I mentioned, it's just human nature. It's a tough game in scheduling in terms of coming out of, a huge LA versus LA game. Everything surrounded the game last night. Last time matching up with those guys in this building, and then coming into tonight knowing that you have Denver coming in here on Saturday, and then against a especially young, fast team that has shooters, playmakers that's throughout their rotation. So I'm just happy we were able to hold the line. Got put on the ropes there a few segments in the game, but again, once we got it to overtime, guys stepped up, got much-needed stops when we needed to, and was able to make plays on the offensive end.
Hey, Coach. Cam only played 4 minutes. Was that because was his ankle bothering him in the second of a back-to-back, or was that just you giving other guys more?
Just experiencing a little bit of soreness, and hadn't not played in almost 3-4 weeks, whatever it was. Playing last night, gave us some huge minutes last night on a back-to-back. We just decided, just to put him on ice early and make sure he starts the process of being ready for Saturday. And we have Max. Max is more than capable of filling that void, so we were able to get through it.
Darvin, apologize if this was asked already, but how big was that 5-point swing that LeBron had of the block on Poole, and then the next possession comes down, hits the three, ties it? It felt like they're about to go up 5. Instead, you guys tie the game. Just that sequence there.
It's huge, man. Coming off a game that he had last night, pushing himself. That's why he takes good care of himself, and the fruits of his labor on full display with plays like that. And he could easily just conceded the layup or whatever, but no, he's a highly competitive guy. So he's 4-time champion, and we needed every bit of that. And so him being able to make that play definitely gets the crowd energized, gets his teammates energized, and we were able to go back and make a play on the offensive end as well.
Last night, a couple of the guys said the win wouldn't mean anything if you weren't able to capitalize and get the win tonight. So I know it took overtime, but what do you guys carry forward? I know you got a big test on Saturday, too.
Just not the let down. We could have played better. Some things we could be, a little tighter on tonight. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. And, you much rather deal with the wisdom instead of the lesson in terms of losing a game like this. But, we found a way. And there's great things you can take away from this game as well. Just things not going right. We feel like some drives that we didn't get foul calls after we were hit. All of that is fine and dandy, but the fact that we gritted, we had to grit and grind to push through and come out on top of one of these, this one specifically, was a good sign.
Darvin, staying on Saturday, we all obviously know what happened last year in the postseason, all the talk back and forth in the summertime, opening night, earlier in February. Obviously, that was right around the trade deadline, a lot of stuff going on, but you guys are hosting the Nuggets. You guys are coming off a couple wins, and you are trying to build this momentum towards the postseason. How equipped are you for this moment against a team that is the defending champs?
Well, I think we will be definitely ready and willing to go compete at the highest level. Going into a day off tomorrow, it's a 5:30 game. So guys are starting the process as we speak, the recovery process to fill their cups back up. Everybody's well aware of not really what's at stake. You don't want to go too crazy with one regular season game and make too much out of one opponent. But they are who they are. They're the defending champs. I'm sure I won't have to do anything extra to get the team's attention and their focus in the right place. So I look forward for a hell of a basketball game, and we're going to do our due diligence to make sure they have the right information. But first and foremost, having our guys ready to compete at the highest level for 48 minutes or however long it takes.
Sorry. Darvin, you guys got to 30 assists tonight, but it took overtime. You haven't hit that mark since prior to the All-Star break. Do you feel like the ball movement has been where you'd like it to be coming out of the break, and is that just kind of recapturing rhythm
I think it's just recapturing the rhythm. It's just our fourth game after the break. We'll get there. I just love the way we're competing. We're really competing on both sides of the ball. We have our lapses here and there, but for the most part, for the duration, the long-term process of the game, we're competing, we're fighting. Those rhythmatic passes and shots, they'll definitely come back, and it's also predicated on our defense. The more we can turn teams over, the more we can force teams into bad shots. You get runouts, and when you get runouts, you get kick-aheads, you get hockey assists, the pass that leads to the pass that leads to the basket. And so we just have to keep working at it. And again, the activity defensively and just our running habits and us playing with a lot of pace and energy.
You mentioned the competitiveness. The Clippers were over 50% for most of the game, if not all of it. I think the Wizards, I don't know, they finished over, I believe, 50% tonight from the field defensively. But when it's come time, like you guys have been able to kind of find the stops. Are you encouraged by that, or more kind of discouraged that it's like it's come to like it's not a consistent thing?
It's there. That's the only. I wouldn't even call it a concern. That's the only issue. It's like, how can we make last night's fourth quarter, tonight's overtime more consistent? No one is going to play lockdown defense for 48 minutes. Players, teams are too good in this league. So you have to make timely stops, but you also have to have long durations of activity, alertness, doing your work early, really that laser focus on that side of the ball, because the truth be told is that side of the ball, when you're really good on that side of the ball consistently, then it frees up a lot for your offense. As you mentioned, the 30 assists. Well, a lot of assists comes when you're playing in transition a lot offensively. So if we're able to, again, sustain what we're able to do versus the Clippers in that fourth quarter, and tonight versus the Wizards in our third quarter tonight was a lot better based on, of the four quarters in regulation. But again, we just got to continue to study the film, talk about schemes, matchups, what have you, and continue to get better at it.
Evening, Coach. LeBron is just 9 points shy of the 40,000 mark. Could you have a comment on this incoming achievement? And maybe he mentioned it today as a possibility in the last minute, I don't know.
Nah, he's not really even talking about it or whatever, man. I'm pretty sure, he's a highly intelligent guy. He's aware of it for sure, but it's not something he's talking about, like trying to get his teammates to give him the ball more. He's just going out there playing LeBron James basketball and trying to do everything we're asking of him, do everything in line with his teammates. And, what an amazing feat. Obviously he will get there at some point. And it's a huge, huge, huge testament to all the work he's put in over all of these years and how well he's taken care of himself, and the way he's played at a high level and everything on the list. But it's a hell of an accomplishment, and look forward to him completing the task.